So I'm sure many of you have read the new New York Times article, and it looks like, as always, the community is divided. Some thought that the article didn't live up to the hype. Now, when I say the hype, I'm talking about the buzz that was going around the UFO community before this article was dropped. But not everyone felt let down by this article. Personally, in my opinion, the article did exactly what it should have done. It's informing the masses. This is soft disclosure. One thing we should consider when reading these articles is that us, here in the UFO community, what we do is research this. So we spend days on end looking into this subject. A lot of the information that gets shared in these articles won't be new news to us always. But it is new news to that average Joe. It is new news to the masses. Look, when you're talking to the general public, you need to understand that a lot of people are seeing this news, but they are not on this whole disclosure tip like us. They're not looking into this. They don't have the information that we have. They haven't been researching this for years. It's going to be harder for them to accept. In my opinion, disclosure can't happen tomorrow. Just think about it. A lot of people are open to the idea that there is life out there. They may not be open to the idea that there are extraterrestrial, ultra-terrestrial, or time travelers interacting with us from another world, another dimension, or another time. They haven't read all the theories. They haven't done all the research we've done. But for a lot of people, this is new news. They've never thought about this topic before, and they've never taken it as far to think that the government might have crashed UFOs. When I was young, I remember seeing Bob Lazar's case for the first time, and I was a little boy. But because I've always been interested in this subject, like it or not, for some reason, I couldn't evade the subject. It was something that I had to look into. It's been a passion that I've had my whole life. I've tried to put it down many times because I feel like sometimes it's frustrating. You go down rabbit holes, you hit a wall, and you get stuck there. But for some reason, I always get back up and I keep looking. So this article, in my opinion, did exactly what it needed to do. It's taking baby steps. It's grabbing the masses by the hand and guiding them in the right direction. The article brings up the Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon Task Force, which is good news. And guys, it's more proof that the governments have been looking into this subject for years, and they plan to continue looking into this subject, and they're worried about it. So hopefully with the Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon Task Force, more information gets shared with the public. Because that's what we need. We need the public to see more information. So I didn't get my hopes up. I thought it was interesting. I thought it was good. It was nice to see another New York Times article. I knew it was going to get picked up by the media, which it did. But I kept reading the article, and I got down to the part that started talking about the crash retrievals. And here the article points out Eric Davis. Now, Eric Davis is an astrophysicist, and his credentials are off the charts. I mean, if there's anyone you should trust when talking about this, it's Eric Davis. It's funny to me how there are all these credible people coming out, and we're still having this same issue that people just don't trust them. People don't trust what they're saying, or they're not listening to them. Now, he claims that some of the materials that he studied couldn't be identified. Now, I quote this from the article: "We couldn't make it ourselves." Guys, that's a bold and strong quote, and that's something you should let sit in your mind, because he's basically telling you right there that it's probably not from here. This is my favorite part of the article. Eric Davis gave a classified debriefing to a Defense Department agency as early as March about retrievals from off-world vehicles not made on this earth. When I was reading this and thinking about materials recovered from UFO crashes, I started thinking about the Majestic 12 documents. Now, I know that Majestic 12 has been run through the ringer, and some people call it a hoax, but I mean, guys, it lines up perfectly with what they're talking about now. Now, when I bring up Majestic 12, it's because I'm referring to that leaked document that was a crashed UFO extraterrestrial recovery handbook, basically. What's happening now is lining up perfectly with the past. This idea of re-engineering tech. Think about the story that Bob Lazar talked about. The pieces of the puzzle are all coming together. So for people like us that have been looking into the phenomenon for a long time, the puzzle is basically made. These pieces are just filling in the outsides of the puzzle. For the general public, they still need to put all their pieces together. And that's what these articles are doing. That's what disclosure is doing. Think about how happy Stanton Friedman would have been to see this article. He spent years researching the Majestic 12 docs, and he believed they were legitimate. Some of the docs talked about UFO crash retrieval. Doesn't seem that strange anymore, does it?